Yeah, but like my heart was then I stopped it. Where's Russ at? Russ, get it going!
Everybody's just scared of the front row. It's all right. Oh,
Big boy.
this one is a hamburger. It's a hamburger.
Hi, Schmoody, let's go.
I got my sesame seeds.
All right, y'all, we're going to wake it up a little bit today. Some of our groups do this. You don't all have to do this. But just to get us started, give me a 1 clap, give me 2 claps, 3 claps, 1 clap. All right. Hey, welcome to Thursday Night Training. Hopefully y'all are excited to be here. One of our goals, I know Adam has talked about this.
My phone shut off.
One of our goals is to watch the cooking show and learn how to cook a perfect pasta.
Japanese hot pot party.
Okay, no, one of the goals Adam has talked about many times that still hasn't started to happen, but it's starting, it's slowly there, is to fill this room up to what point do you think? To the back. Have you guys heard Adam talk about that? So we fill it to the back. Adam's vision one day is that we have to get a bigger office.
5 years.
If we look around, we're still not there yet. But what you don't know, if you're new, is that a year ago, we were in a smaller office than this in Plano, and it wasn't brand new. So trajectory-wise, things look pretty good, right? But the goal is every Thursday night, a 7 p.m. training that we run, that you invite people to, even if they're not going to be Vivint reps, so that we can influence more people, yeah, and grow culture. So that being said, tonight, Adam's going to give us a training. Did everyone do the raffle? If you haven't done the raffle, jump in right now. It typically gets overloaded. Jump in raffle. What are they raffling off? Anyone know? Not
Jordan.
quite. They're doing a pair of Air Force One lows.
Air Force Ones.
They're Air Force One lows. Okay. So I know who in here has won this raffle before? Cole. Cole has won the raffle before. He got custom waffle ones last year. So it's real. Like someone wins from the raffle every year. But this year, or this week, it's the Air Force Ones.
Maybe. Oh crap! No. There it is.
There you go. These are I don't know if they're custom. They might be custom, but these are the Air Force Ones they're giving out. So if you jump in, scan that code.
It better not be custom.
It says custom. Unless that was. Why better not? All I know is someone will win these. Someone wins every week. But when you're filling it out, if you're brand new, you're a rookie, right?
Yeah.
This is the Plano, even though it's Frisco. It's Plano if you're looking for Frisco on there.
Yeah, it's not Plano.
Okay.
Did anybody get a bogged down message like overloaded or did it say that this time? Did they fix that? Sick. Must fix it. Last couple times it hasn't registered everybody here.
No, it's all right, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, what I'm going to do real quick is tell you guys a little bit about Adam. Who in here knows who Adam is? Cool. So that means about half the room doesn't know who Adam is or know a ton about Adam. What's up, dude? Adam on Instagram is top 1%er. He's kind of gained a pretty good following. But what you don't know about Adam that's not on social media is that Adam has been doing Vivint for
2008, whatever the math is on that.
I don't even know anymore. What's that?
15 years?
15 years. Been doing Vivint for 15 years. Okay. Here's some stuff he wouldn't brag about. I think he's at least owned 2 Porsches.
Yeah, on my second one.
Okay. He's owned a couple of Porsches. Drove a CGSV. He's a car guy for sure. He's got 4 kids. 13 rental properties right now.
Yeah, just got an offer accepted for 14.
14 in the works rental properties. In his position, he's sold 300 before as a rep, managed 2,000 as a manager,
Personally sold over 2,000.
personally sold over 2,000 accounts. So obviously, like, we know who Adam is, but I don't know that we always know like some of that about him. He's a 300 account rep. That's a huge office to manage, 2,000 plus. I don't know how big the biggest is.
Yeah.
And then just this last year, 14 17,000 accounts?
Funded 17 dollars.
That was the year before.
I'm 1 year short.
Okay.
So funded 17,000 accounts with everyone he teaches and trains, right? Which means 26 offices, I believe. So then here's a director that runs an office. Okay, there's 26 of us. Is that right?
Yeah.
26 that he manages. Just to give you an idea of what he does. So he's got great ideas on how to sell a lot. 300 accounts is 250,000 in the summer. Okay, managing 2,000 accounts is making at least over $500,000 plus probably that year in income. Okay, and on top of that, he knows how to lead, manage, train, teach, invest, all that. I don't even know what his topic is tonight, but I promise that you can take one thing and become richer because of it. Yeah?
Let's
Okay.
get rich.
All right, let's pass it off to Adam with a 2 clap.
Appreciate that. There's a whole another group coming in that's finishing up on the doors. So we have, oh, they're here. What's up, Aaron? Good, we tried to delay for you guys, so I'm glad you guys made it. How many of you guys know Brandon Miller? Yeah, some of you guys know Brandon Miller. He's out of California. He's in the lead right now for the Audi R8 incentive for recruiting. And then Victor Burke, you guys, anybody know Gustavo? He's my boy from New York that I recruited on TikTok. He's in 4th place for recruiting. So, guys, you can earn a supercar for recruiting right now, which is insane. So, if you want to get into the team building side of the business, we have some guys to recognize with that. But I think the other big thing is that we want to talk about tonight and recognize, is this one right here. The home openers March 11th through 9th through the 11th in Utah. Figure out a way for Texas people. We got to get there. You got to go see home base. This is like one room in Vivint's headquarters, right? Like Vivint is massive, and you have to go there and see who Vivint is as a company and really kind of get your eyes open if you've never been to corporate. So let's get you out of corporate. You went to Vivint for the first time, Noah, right?
I did,
This
yeah.
year? Did it change your mindset a little bit about what the company is?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like this feels cool, and then you go see corporate and you're like, holy smokes, there's a lot bigger picture than I thought. Other than that, has anybody earned their free housing yet by going and getting their 5 or 17 EFP? Yeah, this is the first year they've ever done this, so no rent deducted from your check at all this summer. You go out and live in these nice apartments, and you'll never have rent deducted. But you got to go sell 5 if you're a rookie before the summer, and you'll never have any rent deduction, nothing like that. It's not bonus back to you at the end of the summer. So let's make sure everybody gets that. That's a really cool incentive. So other than that, let me get to my keynote here. We're going to talk about some life events that are happening right now. It's kind of the real world talk, but I do want to give some sales trainings to you guys because I know you guys want some nuggets that are going to go help you on the doors this week and really apply knowledge, right? And so I want to talk about this right here. What is job security? And when you hear that, if you had to Google it without cheating. Benefits, okay? Salary? Or not getting fired? So it's like, hey, I'm gonna get this job and not get fired. Anything else come to mind when you hear job security? Union? What does that mean?
You can't get fired.
Okay. So what are probably the most secure jobs there are out there?
Teacher.
Okay.
Construction.
Usually it's government, law enforcement, right? Those are hard to fire unless you do something really bad. And once you have the position, it's kind of hard to go away. That definition has really changed for me over the years. But typically these check a lot of the boxes: 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., clock in and clock out, health benefits, dental, phone, car, right? 401k match. But most of the time these people are afraid to take risks and fail, right? It's just, hey, I go to college, I fall in line, I get this job, it's secure. And that's what they lead with, is they're looking for job security. But really, if you read this definition, employees who feel secure on the job will have a sense of job stability, a sense, right? This is not guaranteed. And they contribute to the organization's growth. So you're going to go get this job, and I want to contribute to the growth of that company. And as long as that company's growing in good hands, I'm in good hands, right? But what happens when that company's not in good hands? Anybody know what happens?
Layoffs.
Amazon. I felt like if you graduated from UTD and you just landed a sales position or a corporate position at Amazon, probably felt like you had a pretty secure job, right? Salary, benefits, driving a free Tesla, whatever it is, right? And then all of a sudden they just sent you an email saying, find a new job. How secure is that job, right? Who else? Microsoft this week to lay off 10,000 employees, right? You know, this was those secure jobs that a lot of people are looking for, and I think we're blessed to be in this room because when they talk about a recession coming, how many of you guys actually fear the loss of your job? Trent, you've been through a recession with Vivint before? Okay. What tends to happen with Vivint in a recession? Where do these people go to get work?
Come sell with us.
They usually come to sell with us, you know, which is pretty crazy.
And crime goes up.
Crime goes up, need for guns and alarms and security go up, right? When people start laying off and getting desperate and create more crime. So I want to talk about this sales career in security because a lot of you kind of don't understand what's going on in the world right now. I've lived it and seen it in 2009, right? 2009, 2010. Jared Young, how many of you guys watched the training today with Jared Young and he talked about kind of the position the company was in 2009 and that kind of stuff? Pretty crazy. But I want to talk about this. So we're talking about a 100% commission job. Can that be secure? Can that provide security for you and your family? Hyman, what do you think?
I think it depends on who you are.
Okay.
Because in this industry, you only get what you put into it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's security there if you're the type of person who keeps his word on what he's going to do.
Okay. Can it also matter what type of product you're or offering you're selling? If you're selling timeshares during a recession, can that be a bad sales career to be in?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're selling real estate, if you're a realtor right now, can it be a hard industry to be in? Or if you're selling refinances, you're a loan officer and you've banked on refinances the last 2 or 3 years, your business might be hurting a little bit, right? And so there's obviously product that's important when it comes to play, right? And Trent already kind of hit on the head here. We're in the securities industry, right? I've been through the 2009 recession when guns and ammunition and security was there, right? We were there in COVID years where I got phone calls from every one of my neighbors who have never once talked to me before about home security. They're like, hey Adam, do you think I can get some cameras on the property, right? When there's rumors of riots coming up to Prosper from Dallas and rumors of all these riots happening all over the country, right? Our phone calls were ringing. Sales were a little easier on the doors. During a recession, during this, a pandemic, our sales go up 40% year over year, right? And so when you think about 100% commission, I feel like we're in a very secure position. Some industries do have their vulnerabilities though when you're in commissions, but you can only control what you can control, right? And what does it mean to control the controllables? What do you think that means? Kind of self-defined it, right? Like control what you can control. But what does that really mean, other than being a good saying or a good Instagram post? What does it mean to control what you can control?
I feel like if you're controlling what you can control, you're taking responsibility for things in your life.
So are there some things out of our control?
Yeah.
And what if we just focus on those things all day long and we're just like, we let that collapse us and let us control our lives, right? There's only so much stuff that we can control, and if you control the controllables, then you stay in control, right? And so you can control how much we make in this industry, good or bad, by controlling what we can control, right? You can either fail in sales in 100% commission, or you can succeed, right? There's a middle ground too to that, but that's usually success, right? It's I'm succeeding at the level I want to succeed at. Or you can really succeed and take this to the next level, or you can fail, right? There's those 3 choices in life with sales and 100% commission. And the coolest thing about sales is your income is what you tolerate here. What does that mean?
I think it's like what you feel like you're worth, like how much rejection you want to go through, or like you'll meet people that are just perfectly fine with making 40K a year. So I think it's just like what you feel like you're worth, really.
Yeah. If you're leaving a job where you're making 35 grand, and you come over here and you're like, holy smokes, I can earn that in the summer. And all of a sudden you find out that it takes 2 accounts a week to get there. You might be totally okay with 2 accounts a week and like not even blinking once that you're not selling 3 or 4 and not care, right? You're not losing sleep over it. I know if Aaron or Trent or Nick was only selling 2 a week and on pace to make 34 grand, they would be
Stressing.
frantic, right? They would be in a different position. And so your income in this industry is what you tolerate. The longer I've been in this industry, the more I realize that the money that people are taking home is the income that they're okay taking home. Because you can control and you can change some things that influence that amount of income. You can put in more input to get a different result or a different income out of this, right? And so your income is what you tolerate. And so you gotta just understand what that income level is that you want, and then don't tolerate anything less than that, okay? And so, how do we stay in control? That's kind of the scariest question with 100% commission. Once I learned the skill and the ability to go sell, and I was confident in my ability to go door to door and do sales, I remember getting married and talking to my wife about job security, right? She was like, how long do we want to do this? And I remember looking her in the eyes and telling her, you know what, if our bills get up to $10,000 a month, I am confident in my ability with any company to go out and do door-to-door sales and be able to provide. If I had to go make 10 grand this month, I could, right? If I needed to. And that's a good feeling to have, to be able to rely on a skill that I've learned, and I can take any product and I can go do this skill and apply it to go create that type of income. I don't have to wait on a retail job. I don't have to wait for people to come in and buy cars from me. I don't have to wait for people looking to buy a house right now and get referred to people hunting for houses. I can go out tomorrow and produce for my family. That is job security to me, right? That was major security to me and my family when we're going through that. And so I want to be able to recognize the things that allow us to control this income, right? And keep this engine just pumping and you know, lubricated and fueled and serviced, and that is just absolutely always producing the income that you need it to produce, right? And again, that income level is going to be dependent on the level that you expect and what you're tolerating, right? So this conversation is the exact same for you if your goal is to make $300,000 here this summer or $30,000. It is the same exact steps to make the different type of income, which is crazy, right? It's just doing it at a higher level and doing all these things at a different level. So number 5. Who wants to read number 5?
Be on time.
Be on time. Pretty simple, right? What does it mean to be on time? Why do you think that's the first one?
I think it's the easiest thing to do.
The easiest thing to do, but how many people are good at being on time? It's pretty bad, guys, right? And
Some people can't even show up.
some people, first of all, can't even show up, but let alone being 15, 20 minutes late to everything they do, okay? I've never heard the analogy today, but today Jeremy Bell talked about live your life as if you're setting your alarm to get to the airport on time and to get on a flight, right? Like, there's no way you're gonna sleep in. If your flight's tomorrow at 6 in the morning, would you sleep in and show up an hour late to your flight? Like, there's no way, because you have that level of urgency and understanding. I need to be on time to this thing, right? Like, you should be able to live life with that kind of urgency. I don't care if it's a 10 a.m. meeting or a 7 p.m. meeting. Be on time and be early usually, right? Like, live your life and just balance that you're on time and early. And I promise your life will just be that much more comfortable, and you'll be able to have more success with that one simple rule, okay? Next one, number 6. Who wants to read number 6? Back here.
Have a plan when you're motivated. Work the plan even when you're not.
Okay? So, have a plan when you're motivated. Okay, let's talk about that part. Who was the first one that just read it? Have a plan when you're motivated. Let's talk about that first step. What does that mean? Is it easy to make a plan when you're motivated?
Yeah.
Okay? It's really easy to be like, I want to make $100,000. Okay? One thing to just say, I want to make 100 grand. Now what do we got to do? We got to create a plan. What does it mean to have a plan?
create the habits necessary to obtain our goal.
Okay, not just habits, what else has to be planned out?
Step by step, how you're gonna get there.
It's gotta be reverse engineers, it's gotta be step by step, right? So, to make 100 grand at Vivint, guys, let's break this down. How many sales do you need to sell?
Roughly 140 to 150.
Okay? Is that right? Oh, man, you're all dead, huh?
Sell 140, you make 109,000.
Okay, 100 grand, you gotta sell 140 accounts. If you're making what, 725 a sell? I don't have a calculator, but somebody can bust that out.
Based off base skills, it's just short of 140 to make money.
Just short of 140. Okay. So to do 140, Ryan, are you confident you can sell 100 in a summer? Like 100% confident. Are you confident you can sell 125 in a summer?
Yes.
Okay. You confident you can do 140?
Yes.
Okay. So let's just say this is your goal. I know with 100% I can do 125 during a summer. Okay. How many is that in a week? Somebody want to bust out a calculator? What's 125 in the summer? Is that
What kind
So
of?
is that 7 a week?
120 accounts, so 120 accounts is 91,000, just so we're kind of on the same
Okay.
page.
So just do 125 divided by 18 weeks. 7 a week. Okay? 7 a week, so how many do we have to do a day? One a day,
Two on
right? And 2 on
Saturday.
Saturdays. 1 a day, 2 on Saturdays, okay? Now where does the other 25 gotta come from? Preseason, okay? So if I sell 25 in the preseason, and then where am I gonna get my buffer?
Extension.
Extension. So I need to go sell 10 more in extension. Okay? You reverse engineer this. Now, this is one thing. This is a plan, okay? Now we gotta break it down a little bit more. And we gotta say, okay, where am I gonna sell these 25 preseasons? What days am I gonna sell them? And then how often am I gonna actually show up, right? And so I have to sell 6 a month, and I'm gonna do that on my blitz, right? Because I have a couple more blitzes coming up. What happens if you only sell 4 on your blitz?
Then you gotta stop
When do you sell the other 2?
in the other days.
In the other days. Okay, you gotta go back to hometown and go knock, right? And get your deals. It's that easy to have a plan when you're motivated, okay? And then work the plan even when you're not motivated, okay? That's the most important part. It's that level of discipline, right? To work the plan when you're not motivated. There's a year, the year I did 300, I've always been a 225 account rep. I've never been better than 10 to 13 accounts a week. Like, I'm not one of those guys that would go and sell 30 in a week or anything like that. My best week ever is 20 accounts, and I've done it like twice. Okay, so I'm very consistent, 11 to 13 account guy. Trent managed with me for like 5 years. I'm Mr. Consistently 11 accounts a week. Okay? What does that mean? How do I get the 300? I had to do 60 preseasons. And I had a goal to buy a new house, and I sat down with my wife and I said, I have to sell 60 preseasons this year. And the reason why I want to do that is because I don't want to touch any of my back-end check. I want to save it, and we're going to invest it.
Hey, in our group, what do we call that?
Old money and new money.
Old money, new money, I like it. I didn't want to touch my back end. I wanted it to buy my new house, okay, for my wife. And I told her I need to sell 10 a month to pay all of our bills, so we had that new money coming in, okay? And if I sold 8 on a blitz, I'd get home and I'd sell 2 in Utah, in the snow. I didn't care. I'd sell my 10 a month. I'd make sure all my bills were paid with new money, okay? I wasn't touching that. That year I did 60 preseasons, guys. And that was the only reason why I got out and, busted out 300 accounts that year. And luckily I sold, 250 in the summer, but how easy is it to be motivated when you started the summer with 60 preseasons, right? 300 wasn't even on my radar, but when I really did it and I started the summer, I was like, dude, I'm gonna go smash 300 this year, let's go, right? So have a plan when you're motivated, and then work the plan even when you're not motivated. Next one, number 7. Who wants to read it? Right here.
Find reasons to get out of the house and show up.
Okay. Why is it important to get out of the house with this job?
Anywhere to make money.
Can't do anything if you're in your house.
Okay, it is hard. It doesn't matter. We can do this job from our home, right? Other than knocking doors. We can recruit. We can have our meetings. It's important to get out of the house, and it's important to get into this office and treat this office as your profession, right? And so showing up. And so we have a mandatory Monday meeting, or it's not really mandatory, but it's expected that our leadership are here on Mondays. Why do we do that? We don't even really have anything on Mondays. Why do we show up on Mondays?
Start your week off right.
Start your week off right. Just show up, get going, right? Start planning. Good things happen when you're in here planning. So if you can do this, just showing up to work, that's controlling what you control. Like, I don't have anything to do today, so I'm gonna go into the office. I'm not gonna sit at home and watch Netflix all day. Can you get anything done sitting at home on Tinder and on Snapchat and all this kind of stuff? Nothing good's gonna happen, okay? Get to the office and be productive. If you don't have anything to do, be here. Be productive, okay? Find reasons to get out of the house. Number 8 should change your life, okay? I see this way too much. Don't go through the motions. I see a lot of guys that are caught up in busy work, okay? They're always engaged in something, but they are not results driven at all. So they're recruiting, okay? They go recruit for 10 hours this week. Cool, how many interviews did you give? Or how many people did you sign, right? Are they going through the motions, or are they results driven, right? What's the difference between the two, Noah?
One is driven is, you know, they're willing to do what they need to do to get to the results, as opposed to results they want immediate satisfaction.
Love it, okay? If you can just flip this little switch in your head, right? If you're recruiting or contacting, your life should not be about the activity that leads to the result. It should be the result, right? So if we're gonna have a recruiting event online, we're doing social media posts, we're reaching out to friends, family, strangers on social media to hire the type of people we wanna hire. We're team building, right? It shouldn't be let's send out as many DMs as we can in an hour. What should be, that's the action. What should be the result? What should be the action that leads to a result? Or what's the result we're looking for? Let's keep going. So what can we control? I can't control getting guys in right now. What can I control?
How many DMs you said?
How many DMs I send? Okay, so we can either say let's do this for an hour, or let's be here until we send 50 DMs. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, when we go to campus to recruit, you guys are gonna start campus recruiting. Don't go to campus for 4 hours. That's the action. Okay, that you feel like you're busy. What could you do instead? We're going to campus until what? Until we have 10 contacts each, phone numbers, okay? We will leave campus when we each have 10. It might take 3 hours, it might take 6 hours. That's driven by the result, okay? When we're out knocking, okay, we're going out and we're knocking on a Friday. I feel like we get caught up too much on this. It's Friday, nobody's expecting us to knock, but we're showing up, okay? Jaime's showing up. We're gonna go knock for 7 hours because this is our culture. Are we going out to go knock for 7 hours because that's the action we're supposed to be taking? Or what's the alternative, Jaime?
You're going out there to get a sound.
Not to get a sale, we're going out there.
For the results.
That's the difference between a 200, 300 account rep and a 75 account rep. I am going out until I get a sale, right? Until I get 2 sales, right? It's just changing your verbiage by 1 word. What you just said is I'm going to go out to get a sale, and you're going to be just fine coming home without a deal because of the verbiage that you just used, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you go out and you tell me I'm going out until I get a deal, you might not be back till 10 o'clock tonight. And I fully expect you to come home with a sale, right? So if you tell your wife, or you tell your girlfriend, or you tell your mom, what time are you coming home? What's your answer?
I don't know until I get a sale.
As soon as I get home, as soon as I get a cell, I'll come home, right? There's a difference in the language. You guys see that? Work for results. Don't just go through the motions, okay? Until you get a cell. Stop trying to get a cell. So many people are trying in this industry. Stop trying and go get the results, okay? Quit trying to recruit. Don't stop recruiting until you have interviews set up, until you have new contacts, okay? Don't try to go get sales today. Go until I get into 4 homes, okay? Go until I get a sell. Like, don't stop until then. Again, your income is what you tolerate because your language is tolerating these types of behaviors. And so, number 9, I feel like this one's massive, and then we're gonna do a little practice, is I see way too many people that are followers still. You are in an industry where you cannot afford to be a follower anymore, okay? If you wanna be a follower, you need to be in a 9 to 5. Because they'll clock you in at 9 o'clock, they'll tell you when you can leave at 5 o'clock, and you're okay. You're gonna just follow their schedule, okay? That is not this industry. This is an industry for trailblazers. If you need to have a path everywhere you go, I promise you there's not enough people to lead you, to give you that exact path. You need to be okay with being a trailblazer and lead from the front. And your language needs to reciprocate that. You need to be a leader, right? And you need to be okay in being like, guys, let's go out until we get sales. Let's go out and do this until this. And you'll have that type of success that you want. If you understand that I'm a trailblazer, I'm a leader, I don't have to have a path of somebody just to show me. The path is there, the example will be there, I promise. But you can't just sit back and wait for other people to hold your hand and get this stuff done. You need to be able to get it done. I'm gonna talk about this right here. Ignore Tuesday recruiting wars. Okay, summer is 88 days away. I love the quote that they said on today's training. The harder you work now, the easier the summer's gonna be. What does that mean to you guys?
If you make most of, like, you know how they project your 10%
Mhm.
from preseason to the summer?
Yeah.
If you work harder in the preseason, you're projected for a bigger number in the summer. So
Yep.
that's what makes it easier.
I love it. And then this next quote. We are not product of circumstances, we are the products of the decisions we make every day. Thought that was a sick quote by Santiago today. So, we are not products of circumstances. The area you guys go to does not indicate your success you're gonna have this summer. Your manager you have does not indicate the type of success you're gonna have this summer. What's gonna indicate the type of success you're gonna have this summer? Yourselves. The daily decisions you're gonna be making for the next 88 days. That's gonna dictate the type of success and the level of income you're gonna have this summer, right? Obviously, if you have good managers that are gonna mentor you and help you through that, that helps, which you guys do. But start becoming that person today. If you wanna make 100 grand this summer, don't wait till the summer to turn into that person. Start building those habits and those things that are gonna get you there today. So we're gonna do this little practice real quick. This will take 2 minutes. Everybody bust out your phones real quick, and we're gonna take some notes, okay? Jaime doesn't have his phone?
No, I don't actually.
That's right, you can do this mentally, okay? Number one, do you feel like physical fitness is key to be good at this job? Health is important, mental health and physical health, okay? So we're gonna get our fitness right over the next 88 days, okay? Number one, for your fitness goal, what is your new fitness goal, okay? Go ahead and write it down. How many days a week do you need to work out to hit that goal? Or how many days a week do you need to do the run or whatever it is? Do the Peloton. I don't care. What time are you gonna do it at? And what's really got to change? You guys know what's holding you back from the physique or the mental health or the physical health that you guys are really desire. What's holding you back? Is it McDonald's? Is it Wendy's? Is it the late night cereal munchies, and ice cream munchies? Like, what's holding you back? You know what it is. Okay? Cookies and cream. Okay, number two, let's talk about your sales goal. Rookies, this might be a little harder, but what is your sales goal this summer? If your goal is to sell 75, right, as a rookie, or 50 as a rookie, Jaime kind of said it, like, what's the best indicator to get you there? 10%, right? If you can do 10% of those right now, you're pretty much on lock to get that. And so, what's 10% of your goal? Let's make sure we're hitting that pre-summer, and let's get that down. How many days is that going to take for you to get there? If your goal is 10 sales, is it going to take more than 10 days? Probably. Let's plan on 20, especially if you're a rookie. What time are you going to do it? And what needs to improve in order for you to have this type of success? Okay? If your goal is to hit 200 this year and you've never done 200, what's going to change and what has to improve? And then the last one for the guys that are in here in team building is we have 88 days to build your team. That's a supplemental income for a lot of us that we're making a lot of money on personal sales. The other half of our income is by team building and building up our squads and training our squads. What needs to improve? What days are we going to commit to working on this? And or how many days? And then what time are we going to do this at? Let's get really specific with our goals, guys. And absolutely in the next 88 days, you can go have a life-changing summer, right? I'm pumped for you guys. Hopefully this is helpful and you can take some nuggets on here. You know, with just changing the way you think about numbers and results and the motions and actions that you're taking. Everything in life should be about results, right? It shouldn't be about anything other than the results that you're going for. And if you can live a life of results-driven activities instead of a life of motion-based activities, you will be light years ahead of your peers and people you're competing with. Other than that, let's have some pizza and let's have a $100 knockout round. Okay? Do it up. All right, $100 knockout.
Only income right now until I start selling. What, bro? Like, we should have hour drive.